Welcome to Against All Oddities, the podcast about three brothers coming to terms with the oddly true and the truthfully odd. Today, we're talking about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse: war, famine, pestilence, and death. You know, the original disaster influencers. We're digging into where these guys came from and what they're supposed to warn us about, and why, thousands of years later, they're still wildly relevant in our modern hellscape of plagues, tyranny, war, and that low-grade sense of doom you feel every time you open your phone. This is Against All Oddities!
Hey. Welcome to Against All Oddities, where sometimes we try to talk about the weird, the occult, the paranormal, the funny, the strange, the odd. But sometimes we also talk about good things and positivity. And speaking of positivity, we're going to talk about the end of the world.
We're just seeing these horsemen flying around, so we thought we'd talk about the horsemen.
Specifically, the Four Horsemen, and we're going to try to make new ones. We're going to update it. I'm youngest brother Tim.
Chris.
Nate.
I'm the middle one.
Oldest brother Nate. Oldest. So, how have y'all been? It's been a month.
It has been a month. I actually don't remember the last time we recorded, because I think we recorded in early December.
So it's actually been.
So I feel like
weeks.
It's like our update is like a long time coming. What's your update, Tim?
I have several stories to tell. The first, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about, but Mary's doing an art project, and she wanted me and Jack to be a part of it, and I need to look like a homeless person. So I haven't shaved.
That's why you're growing
December.
Facial hair,
and it's
coming
more
in so
red.
thick. How long have you been growing that? 3 months?
Shut up. It looks more thick in person, man. But
do you get your mascara out to thicken it up a little bit?
No, I cannot tell you how red it is. It's redder than Nate's.
Yes. Red beards unite.
For our audio listeners, Tim is holding his camera right up to his face, trying to
imagine
show
a 14-year-old saving up to shave the first time is what we're looking at.
Yes.
He has like 4 stray whiskers coming out of a lip.
I am a ginger face. You just can't see it. It looks better in person. Shut up. I'm also not cutting my hair. And the side hair is squished by headphones, but it's all poofy and stuff. So nice. I'm going to look homeless. Also, I had to commandeer a grocery cart, which I had 2 kids with me.
Can you talk about this project, or we're not allowed to?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Mary, but she's illustrating a very famous book, and several other artists. The publishing company reached out, and they're apparently really fancy. Like, they do a limited amount of copies. And it's definitely, Mary got the coolest book you could ever illustrate ever in the history of cool books. So it's exciting. And she's getting all the skinniest people she knows to model for her.
Just for the record, the book that she's illustrating is The Road. I will bleep that out if I'm not allowed to say it. So
we'll ask.
It will take me a week and a half to edit this. So I'll bleep it if not.
What's funny, so she was going to come down, but I it's supposed to. This is pre-snowpocalypse, so if you're listening, it's probably in snow time. We're supposed to get over 20 inches of snow this weekend, so Nate and Mary can't come down. It was supposed to be a delayed Christmas, so that's delayed further. So
we can still come down.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you physically.
I made it back up. Remember the last time Ella and I left on Christmas?
Push your luck.
It was like 16 inches of snow in a sedan. I pushed that snow all the way back.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I like that. Like mom or dad was watching the cameras on the highway on the Afton Mountain, and the only car available that you could see in the live feed was yours going down the mountain.
Yeah, I went around the snow plows that went off the road, but that was a long time ago. That was like 2009. I was going to Stanton with an Andy dog in the car. And that was Granddad's old, our deceased grandfather's Impala, 2002 Impala. And
Nice.
boy, that thing just pushed the snow. Like it was just the snow was going over the hood, but it kept going. It was
And
great.
if you're a loyal listener, you remember that Nate was the one when he was 16 driving a British sports car that cost $400.
Sports and MG being a sport of anything. 65 horsepower
British
of
country racing. But anyway, we made the news. The MG went blasting through a snow embankment at the Bonvar Hill, and it was caught on the news, and they used it for all their Blizzard recaps. So you have no fear of snow.
Idiot kid. And an MG, by the way, a 64 horsepower rear wheel drive 4-speed is not the greatest car for the snow. It also has a clearance of like a half an inch off the road. So
yeah, it's like
I was basically sledding down the hill and gently gliding through the snow berm.
You know, in the movie The Shining, when they're driving through and you see the wrecked VW Bug, that's actually on top of an MG that it crushed.
MG easily got crushed.
It's underneath the Bug.
I keep fantasizing. This is a problem with me in Facebook Marketplace. And my number one search on every Facebook Marketplace is MGB V8 swap. They exist.
That's an episode in itself.
Oh my god,
Tim,
I want one.
how you doing?
So Jack didn't throw up. Alicia thought he did because she's putting Evelyn down, and I just walked in on him pooping. He just went, I'm pooping. I was like, oh, did you throw up? He was like, no. I was like,
not out of my mouth.
Have a good night. Just shut the door.
I shouldn't have gotten thirds on that chili tonight.
Well, he wasn't feeling good this morning when we sent him to school anyway. All right, so I'm trying to update stuff.
Funny nursing home stories.
I thought I had other funny stuff. So whatever. So the nursing home, I've been working a decent amount in the nursing home just because they needed coverage, whatever. And I didn't pay any taxes on the money I made from the nursing home last year, and it's going to be a big bill. And so I am working more at the nursing home to earn money to pay the taxes from the money I made working at a nursing home because it's a 1099 job. And I put like
a lot.
I walked in on him pooping. So I'm updating Alicia because she said, can you check on him? I was like, I know. Okay. So anyway, every now and then it's fine. It hasn't been that bad. As far as like acuity, because they all have the flu, but they're fine. Nobody's gotten super sick. I haven't had to send anybody to the hospital, so that's a good day. And so the two things that happened more recently is the office that I use is a closet. It's a literal old closet. But it's enough room to like you have a desk and a computer and there's a little mini fridge and a filing cabinet. So like it's personal space and you're by yourself. So it's kind of nice, but it's so small and there's no windows or heating or air or anything that you just leave the door open. But if you leave the door open,
you'll get cornered.
You get cornered. And so everybody's in a wheelchair, right? And they just wheel up and they're like, most of the time it's like they know who you are and they're like, hey, I'm not getting my Neurontin at night and I need it. And so I'll look and be like, oh, you actually do need refills, or I'll put it in. And then they just start telling a story like, yeah, this one time in 1995, I had all these whatever. And it's nice. I'll just listen to them while I'm like writing notes or whatever. But this woman that was in a wheelchair just kind of creaked up, and it took her about 5 minutes to get from the nursing station, which is literally 10 feet away from me, halfway into the office. And I saw her coming. It was like, and I had never seen her before. And she was like, I'm I'm real good at math if you need help with the books. Because she saw me on a laptop and she thought I was like running numbers for a restaurant or doing taxes or something. And I was like,
Hey.
oh, I'm ordering medicine and stuff. And then she was like, I don't know about medicine. And she just stood there and stared at me. So I didn't know what to do. And I was like, how old are you? And she was like, I don't know, 100 and something. Okay. But then what happened is I was just talking to her and I spent long enough that a second person in a wheelchair got in line. And then a third. They didn't know what they were lining up for.
And they were getting in queue.
Right? I was like a Disney attraction. Or
Why
something.
not? What else are they going to do other than talk to Tim?
But also, this woman she not only wouldn't, but she couldn't leave. So I had to stand up, and she was taking up the whole door and literally like hold her chair and like push her out of the door. And then the next one came up and was like, "What are you doing?" And it was like, I don't know. And it was but it was just really
doing my taxes.
Right. I was just working on computer stuff. And it's kind of funny. It was entertaining. I wasn't annoyed by it, but the one, like the second old lady was like, you got a nice shaped face. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then like she wheeled off and I was like, all right, maybe this beard's coming in kind of nice. Like I don't
got a nice shaped face.
Literally 30 seconds later, a nurse is pushing somebody in a wheelchair by the office, and then I looked over, and the patient looked up at the nurse, and I didn't hear what they said, but the nurse said, "That's not a dog, that's a human." I was like, "Oh." I thought I had a nice shaped face, and she literally thought I was a dog.
Yeah.
Yes. Why are they keeping a dog in there? All right, so that was the whatever story. Here's a new quote that I've actually told my children about and Alicia and at least 7 other people, because it's the funniest thing I've heard in any nursing home ever. Same office, just charting, and I hear a nurse shouting at a guy because he was deaf. Like you really have to like speak. It wasn't out of anger. Sure. I need to clarify that. He was just speaking up so that the man could hear him. And he goes, "That's not your pocket. That's your ass." So I was like, oh my God. And so like I was in a wheelie chair, and so I kicked the wheelie chair out to like witness whatever was happening. And all I saw was the comb. There was a black comb that he pulled up and he was holding it, and the nurse started to reach for it and stopped and went, "Hold on," and then went and put a glove on and then grabbed the comb with the glove and then wrapped the glove around it and threw it away, which I thought was...
Do you have a desk in there?
Pocket.
Yeah, there's a desk in there.
You're not just sitting in a closet like in a chair with a laptop on your lap.
No, it's like a normal sized desk that takes up all of one wall. And there's
like a student desk like you have in high school.
No,
it's like a single chair and a little...
It's like an office desk, like a small office desk, but I put the laptop on, and on the left there's enough room for a mini fridge. And there's
when they creep up to you, are they facing your back or are you facing the doorway?
I'm gonna send you.
You really should be facing the doorway. Don't turn your back.
So here's the thing. I have a picture with no identifying information or anything that when they started lining up, I had to document it, and I will send that to you so that you get a good layout of like what's going on.
Those are good stories.
Yeah, I mean, other stuff's going on. Like there's, I don't need to.
You and I went hunting.
Oh, it has been a while. Chris and I went hunting twice, and it didn't work.
We didn't shoot nothing.
The first time
we talked about it the last podcast.
Did we?
No,
we said we were going to, and then we did, and we didn't shoot anything.
But it was fun, and I will say we made like an occult ritual out of the second day. Made offerings. It didn't work, but it was cool.
It almost did. It almost worked. So let's say we were there for 6 hours, and the second day was a lot nicer, and we found the perfect spot because there's a guy that hunts up there, and initially he's real protective of it until he found out who I was, and 30 acres up there belong to me and Alicia.
You're the host of Against All Oddities? Well,
yeah,
shit.
right. Holy shit. And so he got real nice. He was like, no, this is where you need to go, and this is where you need to sit, and this is what you do. And so, like, we sat at the place he told us to, and me and Chris were like, we've been wasting our time until now. This is the best spot
every
on
time
the
we've
planet.
ever gone there, it was a waste until we found it. But also, I like the fact that the second day, which was awesome, because we roll in, we were like rolled out of the cars, like 40-mile-per-hour winds, and we're like, I felt pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely had like a vibe to it.
It had a vibe to it that was kind of tight. But anyway, we got our spot, and you mostly just sit in silence and watch. And then after like a couple hours, I think we kind of signaled like we needed to move or something.
It wasn't going to hurt anything.
Yeah, because there's so much wind. Anyway, Tim was like, I was doing light work, and I was like, I was doing light work too. So like, hunting for the Carroll brothers is generally us sitting with guns, looking out, not shooting anything, and meditating for 2 hours.
Meditating with guns, like high-powered rifles. So, one thing about that though is Chris had this 2-cent piece at the end of the day, and he just tossed it out the window, and he was like, I just
from
felt,
like 1865. It was,
he was like,
wow.
Yeah, he said instead of keeping it, I just felt like it. I was like, I'm offering this to the woods, and then he had this urge and just tossed it. And no joke, at the very end of the property, right before we left, there were 2 does, and I rolled out of the truck and got the gun, and I was loading it, and then had to like stop because I was like, there's a house there. It
was a bad shot too, but anyway, it definitely worked. I mean, because it was like 5 minutes later, like 2 different deer shots.
Yeah, Chris donated us 2 cents and then got 2 deer, but it was the wrong place and wrong time. It was, I mean, we got what we asked for.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Nate, what have you been up to?
Yeah, what are your updates?
I work a lot. I spend a lot of time in Ohio, which is cool. I get to see snow and stuff, and the one night I didn't want to sit in the hotel room, so I went to the movie theater on discount movie night, and I made it all of 1 hour into the new Avatar movie before I left the theater. And that was a hard hour to make it through.
We saw the second Avatar together, and we both almost walked out, but we had too many we had like chicken nuggets stuffed in our pockets that we smuggled in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were like the only ones there. It's like, this movie's garbage, but like
it was what else?
It was also really cold, I think. But anyway, so you made it an hour.
Anyway, what else are you going to do at night? And I didn't have my book on me, and I work all the time. I've been driving there a lot, which takes about 7.5 hours. And the last time I tried to fly a couple weeks ago, I was like in the airport, and I got to the airport at 6 a.m. And it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. I just see it tick, 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 and I'm missing every possible connection. And I have meetings and stuff, right? And I look over at the guy 2 seats away from me, and he looks like he's about to die. Like he's just like looking down and sweat's dripping off him. I was like, I know he's going to sit in 7 motherfucking B. I guarantee he's sitting next to me. I can promise you there's one place. And I go to the Hudson News, and I'm like, do you got any masks, anything? And they're like, nope. And then I look back, and the thing's still ticking up 3.5 hours. The plane wouldn't take off until like noon or something. I was like, fuck it. I canceled the flight, went down, got a rental car, and just drove.
Oh, you didn't drive all the way. You drove to your connection.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times, but regardless,
I like to think that you're on 95 and you got your head out the window, like looking up, and you're like, I see my plane, and like you're trying to beat the plane.
You wouldn't see the plane because the plane's sitting waiting for a mechanic to show up to reset the damn Bluetooth speaker or whatever.
That's because you keep trying to ride and get tickets for like Baloo's Tailspin plane. That's just like
yeah. So okay. But here's the thing. So in my fantasy, right? So I'm like, I hate driving. I hate flying, and I've known people that have pilot's license and fly. So I've been on Facebook Marketplace looking at, and this, I will never do this, just so
you're
you
getting
know.
an ultralight.
No. Well, I like the backpack idea,
With the fan?
like the fan and the
Mary
parachute.
would never let that happen.
No. But I
Oh
think my
no,
field.
there's no asking permission here,
No,
Chris.
this is ridiculous. I saw one the other day that was on sale on Facebook Marketplace. $1,500 for the damn parachute and backpack fan.
That's pretty cheap, man.
Oh my god! Usually they go for like 35.
I mean,
but
if
anyway,
you do get the backpack, hold on. Your fate, if you get the backpack and the parachute, is your half mangled corpse landing in your yard, and while you're twitching, you're going to see your neighbor Harrison with a hammer.
100%.
Insider story that we don't have time to tell.
Yeah. Anyway, misery, a mercy kill of me. Now, I did watch a YouTube ad for one of those, or like the Facebook Marketplace.
You're getting YouTube ads.
No.
Bad sign.
No. It was the guy had a video advertising it. He's flying around in Goochland, which isn't far from here. He's like doing loop-de-loos and flying around above the trees. Looks fun as shit. He's like, well, most people on these things, and he's got his selfie stick, just videotaping them. He's like, most people die on these things because they'll land in water and then you sink because of the fan is strapped to you, and then the parachute goes on top of the water. So by the time you get out of your backpack, you're clawing at that the parachute. I was like, all right, I'm never getting one of these. But because that's horrifying. But or power lines and or aircraft or anything. But so anyway, the point of the story was I was on Facebook Marketplace, and lo and behold, there's a biplane for $17,000. And so I go,
that seems cheap for a plane.
Yeah, it looked great. It looked like a perfect biplane, like brand new. Like
it's made out of styrofoam and wrapped in
2 times better than a regular
It's made
plane.
out of balsa wood. It is. It looks fantastic. And I talking to ChatGPT. Actually, I'll try to say clip of it. I sent the ad to ChatGPT or screenshot it, and I was like, "Can I make this to Ohio from Ashland or whatever?" And its response was, "Please don't try to fly that plane." I'm pleading with you. I'm not even in this material world. I am but electrons. Please don't try to do that.
You're one of our few paid subscribers.
Please, I need the $20. But I was like, and he goes, that aircraft has a max speed of 55 miles an hour. Just so you know, going to the west to east is on average 65 miles an hour. You may be going 10 feet, or you may be going backwards the whole time. I was like,
awesome.
oh,
You're like one of those birds
ChatGPT.
caught in the wind that's just like not going.
I'm just going 1 mile an hour until I run out of gas and then come down for more gas.
That's another one. The postman's like, hey, Mary, where's Nate today? And I'm like, well, he left 12 hours ago in his new airplane.
I can still see him.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, those things get great gas mileage, though. All right, that's my
a good
update. Yeah, travel.
I don't have much of one. I had my gym has a yearly dietitian. You pay things. I've been hanging out with a class of 12, mostly middle-aged women, and me and a dietitian. But so I'm on a pretty intense diet, and there's a lot of macro counting, which is hilarious because I've never done that. And she's like,
makes you feel like a crazy person.
Yeah, she was like, you should be eating 1.5 pounds of protein a day, like 1.5 pounds of meat of protein a day. I was like,
that's a lot.
That's a little too much.
How much fiber do you have to take to compensate?
I take a lot of fiber, but they're like, yeah, you should have like 220 grams of protein a day.
220 is a lot,
Christ.
especially if you're trying to restrict calories. It's never going to happen.
Well,
Can it be in hot dog form or?
You technically, I mean, it should be low fat, but
lean.
Anyway, so I'm on a really crazy diet, and it's it's
well, if you make
so
breakfast sausage, but you don't take the sausage shot that comes with the bottom of it after you're done cooking it, it would keep the fat down.
Doesn't that cause cancer now? All bacon and processed pork products. It's the same as cigarettes, they said.
Class 1 carcinogen similar
asbestos. It's the same as asbestos.
And
that's great.
They're all in the same
how
class.
Many cheddar wurst I have eaten?
do. It's a lot.
It's not good.
It's more than the average bear, that's for sure. I like it. You're definitely on the far right of that bell curve of cheddar wurst.
No human is meant to consume more than one pack of cheddar wurst a year. Sorry, Chris. What else? What do you? What?
No,
so
that's
is this
it.
Pilates or?
This is my CrossFit group, but no, it's fine. It's doing okay. You know, diet.
How much weight have you lost?
It's only been a week. I have lost 4 pounds.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Amazing.
But I also
lost
was like
12 this month.
So they give you like this full in-body, like, you know, $1,000 machine in-body scans or whatever. And, you know, most people who were in the class like didn't eat that day or drink a lot of water. I was like, I'm going to start.
You want to start low.
I want to set the bar real easy. So I'm just going to do my normal day. And we had some friends over the night before with like pizza, and Nate got me a slushy machine that makes alcoholic slushies. So we had like DAC. So I was like, I hit that machine pretty hard. The machine was like, slow down there, buddy. I'm having trouble getting an electrical current. The dietitian was like, I'm looking at all the statistics, and we don't normally have an alcohol rating in here. Like,
you still had alcohol in you?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but it'd be really funny if it did. It was like an APB or something. No, it's fine. We'll see.
Machine.
Don't tell me that I had like 120 pounds of water in my body at all times.
You drink more water than any human I know.
You drink a lot of water.
No, I know one person that drinks more than you.
The dietitian person says I need to be drinking more water than I am, which is insane.
Somebody at work drinks, I think, 2 gallons a day, and it's nuts. I watch it happen.
I've gotten sick before from drinking too much water.
Yeah, so you can get delusional anemia.
Sodium and potassium get watered down, and you can die. Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
back to the apocalypse.
Not specifically the apocalypse, but I will say
the Four Horsemen of
we've been inspired by the ongoing apocalypse.
Inspired by the apocalypse, and there's a lot of current events that are kind of apropos
apocalyptic
for this. So we're going to try to avoid specifics if we can, and kind of stick to the mythology of it. But I will say one thing about that, because it's hard sometimes when the world looks like it's falling apart, and this is where we're trying to like be positive about things. So we'll go through stuff, and then we're gonna come up with new horsemen or whatever, and then have a well, how do you be good through this? How do you stay good? How are you good and not just like walk into the desert?
Yeah.
That happened a lot in during the fall of Rome, or periods of the long extended fall of Rome. Women that were known to stand up and walk into the wilderness or the desert because they had no place in society and there was nothing else, so they would just start walking, and that was like a thing. I forgot what it was called.
Or also known in the book The Road.
Yeah.
Well, now I think we should go through Revelations first and the history. Yeah,
let's talk about those horses.
So, Chris, do you have it pulled up? I'll say the horsemen. I think originated from Revelations in the Bible, where there's the 7 seals on a scroll.
Great movie, by the way.
The 7 seals. Yeah, and so Christ is the only one that can destroy the seals. And I thought in my head when I heard this, it was like a giant like Indiana Jones seal or whatever, and he was like crushing him. But I think it's just the seal from like a piece of paper.
No, the seals that's the thing in my research of the Four Horsemen. The seals aren't anything. The seals are like an agreement. So the horsemen are the seals. So they're like releasing the seal, which is like, think of a seal binding a document. So so they're like, I'm the same way. I always thought it was like a giant clay sigil buried on one of each of the continents, and if they break the seal of each one, but it's like the horsemen themselves are the seal.
Elsa, don't cross the seal.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the horsemen are the seals. The idea is the seal. We'll
have to read Revelations to clear this up, but it was I thought it was like
I'll read it.
Like he broke the seal, and then somebody behind it was talking, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? I'm the horseman."
That happened. The guy was the U-boat captain from Das Boot was the guy. He was the second coming of Christ in the movie, and he broke the seals. But at the end, what's her name?
Biblically speaking,
they filled the soul because they were out of souls or whatever in the guff or something like that.
Yeah,
go ahead, Chris. You're the historian.
Right,
wait, hold on. Chris is going to pick some fun background music for Revelations because we're making a positive spin on things.
All right, I won't read all of Revelations, but I'll read the one for each of the horsemen, right? And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he sat on him, had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. The second horseman.
So that's supposed to be the Antichrist, who brings false peace.
Yeah, sure.
Elements.
No.
I mean, we can talk about it.
We'll come back to that in a second. Yeah. The second horseman, the red horse, war. This would be, and when he had opened the second seal, I had heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
That one's Conan.
The third horseman, the black horse, or Famine, would be this again from Revelations, because there's another Ezekiel's got a different version of the horseman. But anyway, and when he had opened the third seal, I had heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Okay. The fourth horseman. Yeah,
I read about that, but
I read about all of them. Let me go through all of them real quick, and then we'll go through each one. And when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and the beasts of the earth. There you go.
You know what that reminds me of them? Brown bear, what do you see?
I see the pale horse with the false Christ upon it.
Looking at me.
Nice.
For anybody that has children under the age of 4, that might.
All right.
So I'll tell you from what I took notes on this. So the white horse is supposed to be wearing all white and wearing a crown, and he has a bow. I don't know what the bow stands for, but he was supposed to be like an antichrist or a false king. That it brings a false peace. Like, here I am, I'm going to save the world, but nope, he's actually he's the beginning of judgment. And not for him to judge. It's after everybody else is gone. And then
what's interesting about the first horseman, though, is it was originally conquest. It got changed later to pestilence. So a lot of people know it as pestilence, but that's like a contemporary version of it. It was because they thought conquest was too close to war, but they're kind of different concepts.
Yeah, and I think conquer also is so open to interpretation too, because it kind of sounds like war, conquering, but could also be like biblically the
idea was that the first one is the idea of conquest, like taking, domination, stealing, like a false peace. Like, it's a different thing than war, which war wasn't really about the larger idea. It was the idea of this murdering each other, which is like kind of different than the idea of.
I concur.
Yes.
It can also be spreading like false information, like fake news. Like you conquer, like you take this is the true religion, and really it's like a made up one. I feel like war is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that one's just like blood.
What is it good for? Huh. Absolutely.
Red horses, blood horse. So the black horse carrying scales, which it's easy to compare to the scales of justice, but also the scales back then were used to weigh like flour and wheat and things like that.
Yeah, it's about scarcity and income in oh my god, I can't talk.
Economic downfall.
Economic inequality. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't affect the wine and the oil, because only rich people could afford that anyway, and they're not starving.
I think Karate Kid Part 2, when they were using the clay scales to rip off the villagers from the poor villagers from the carrots and stuff.
Well put.
Yeah, that's what Jesus had to punch through the ice, all 7 seals.
Oh, Sorrow, guess what? Or Sorrow.
He made $600 1980s off of that bet. So the pale horse is the only one that was named as Death, with Hades following close behind. I also think that it's a biblical reference. Talking about Hades close behind is also interesting. And and Hades, you could see it as like Satan, but in this reference, it's not. I think it's just the person collecting the souls to take them where they need to go for the afterlife, or distributing them. You know, you go up, you go down, you go up, you stick around for a while or whatever. So there's 7 seals, though. So the first
more.
4
were the.
I wasn't familiar with the 7th, so I looked up the other 7. So the 5th seal is the martyrs, and John, who has the scroll of these seals that Jesus is breaking, he sees the souls of those slain for their faith under the altar, and they cry out for justice, asking when their blood will be avenged. They're given white robes and told to rest until the number of martyrs is complete, which I don't know, interpret that.
How many martyrs, Tim?
You just keep going until you get enough. You'll know when you see it.
Too many martyrs.
And the 6th seal is cosmic upheaval, or massive physical disturbances like earthquakes, the sun turning black, moon turning blood red, stars falling to earth, people
dogs
of all
and
social
cats
statuses
living together.
Yeah, hide in terror from, quote, the wrath of the Lamb. And then the 7th seal is silence and trumpet. So when opened, there's a period of silence in heaven, which interpreted is about 30 minutes. So a 30-minute silence is a long pause, and then it's broken by a series of judgments and 7 trumpets. So
yeah,
that's
just to
recap,
it does kind of sound like a contemporary times. We have conquest, war, famine, death, martyrs, and then the cosmic stuff, which is like earthquakes and all that stuff, and then the end. So it definitely feels like the first 6 seem awfully contemporary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think they were contemporary,
for all our entire existence.
Welcome to the human condition, right?
Yes, I agree. Well, I have the one-line summary of it is it's collapse, suffering, realization, eerie silence, and then more worse stuff that we don't know about.
More worse.
Weren't there always in cultures like 7-headed serpents, like in every culture, like the head dress with the 7 serpents?
Number 7 really it shows up a lot of places, a lot of things. It's a really good number because you don't want a square number. You want a number that adds on itself. So 3, 5, 7 are really good, kind of like action numbers, and not like square numbers, which are resolve, 4, 8, 10. These tend to be completion numbers.
So one thing about that could be applied to some things, the first one, and this is more religious and political we've ever gotten, I guess, but the first one, with conquest, it could be, because I was listening to another guy talk about this, saying that some people think it's a conquest by the word of God, spreading the word of God until it's, everywhere.
Penitent,
it could
penitent
men will pass. But what if non-penitent people are spreading a word in the name of Christ, even though they're not Christians at all? That's the false word, the antichrist. So they use Christ's name to spread a message that's not in the Bible at all. So that is something that may or may not could be applied. I don't know.
New South Park covers that phenomenally, by the way, if you've seen it or not.
They have content for days.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. The new ones where Jesus has to change his attitude, and they have a good soundtrack behind it, and he rips off his sleeves and stuff. It's great.
I feel like the implications behind the horses and their riders are still relevant and pretty accurate, especially with the balancing and economic downfall. The rich have bunkers and they're safe and they can have their oil and their wine while we're fighting over, bread. But the horsemen themselves might need to be updated. So that's so it doesn't have to be war, pestilent, conquest, or anything like that. And also, nobody's riding horses anymore.
So
Nate, Christ
steel
breaks,
horse.
Yeah,
steel
that's
horse
the thing.
I ride.
So here, Nate, Christ breaks the first seal. It doesn't have to be white or anything. And that Nate's voice goes, "Hey, come look." What's your horse, Nate? What is?
I have a very existential horse, and you may want to save my horse for last.
So, all right, I'll take the first one. Jesus breaks the seal. My horse is a drone. I'm like, hey, come check it out.
The drone.
A white drone with no rider.
That's a good horse one.
Right? That's the modern first horse, is a drone, a giant one, which people have seen flying through unidentified drones.
I've seen unidentified drones. It was crazy.
We all have.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All three of us have this past year.
Mine were too high to be drones. Oh, I saw a ghost.
What?
Oh.
It was a ghost. It was a rat, but it was the dead rat that I killed
You saw
after
a
2
ghost
years.
rat.
I saw a ghost rat.
It's a good band name.
Ghost rat. So we're in the woods. After 2 years, I finally killed what I thought was a mouse, and then the mouse died.
Yeah.
And then I put up a new vapor barrier, and this is in the middle of nowhere woods.
It's in your cabin. At your cabin.
Sealed all the corners with cement, not like things, and just this thing kept getting in. And I saw something one time, and I was like, that is too big to be a mouse, but it looked too cute to be a rat. And so I was like, it's a flying squirrel, because we have them around here, and they get in, and it was hoarding acorns. It ate every bit of stuffing and insulation off the water heater and made a nest. And I put down 6,000 traps. I tried to poison it. I tried to lock it out. And it defeated me every single time until I found these giant, big traps. And the magic trick was black oil sunflower seeds in the trap, not peanut butter, not oatmeal, not sugar or whatever. And then I went up there and I kind of smelled death a little bit, and I opened it. I was like, ugh. And I was actually a little bit sad that after 2 years of trying to kill this thing, I finally did. And so I didn't mess with it. I found a sunny spot on a snowy bank, and I put it there. And I was like, you know what? Just whatever it's going to happen to you is going to happen to you. Because I looked up their lifespan. It was a wood rat, or also called a Norway rat. They are massive. And I went back, and there's only half a rat, but I tried to respect it. I was like, all right, okay. About 2 months after this rat died, I went up and I was putting salt in the water softener up there. This is a 600 square foot place. It is not big, but we have a water softener because it's just clay and iron. And then the door to this place is, I can't stand up straight. I'm squatted. So there's just light coming in, and I see it. I see the rat. It was solid black. And it went by my legs to the point that I kind of jumped, and it went down in this little area that you can go into, but there's no way anything could have left there with that. It was like a little depression that holds the water softener thing. And I freaked out. I got a shovel. I searched the thing for 20. It was a shadow rat. It was
Shadow rat.
And it was enough that it alarmed me. I've spent the whole time looking for it, and it just
Ghost Rat haunting you.
Right. So the things lived for 3 years, and 2.5 of them were spent in the cabin. So if that were a human living to 100, it spent 66, 70 years. Of course, it's haunting that place.
Yeah.
That's all it's known.
I believe you. I believe you saw a shadow rat.
It scared the shit out of me.
Let's go back to
what else it
our
could have
horse.
been. So anyway, my horse is a drone.
What does it bring?
And I don't think the drone would be ridden by the Antichrist. I think that would be more like
Really
today's
ride a
war.
drone. If you're riding it, it's not really a drone. It's a
I've seen those videos of that.
Yeah, you're right.
I've seen videos of people riding them. I want one.
Yeah. It
No,
looks
but
like
that's
a
not a
motorcycle.
drone. That's a weird helicopter. Like a
But
drone is
anyway-
unmanned. I think that's the key part to
Is it?
be a drone.
Chris
Yes.
is right. It was an air vehicle.
It's just a dumb vehicle.
something.
If you're right.
So anyway, but especially with Ukraine and Russia and stuff, that is the new war. It's not a red horse. It's a red drone that's just
Yeah. Watch out for drones. That drone technology warfare has advanced 20 years in the last year and a half.
Yeah,
years.
with all the fiber optic stuff, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah, no, it's scary.
anyway, Chris, what's your horse?
Mine is the black horse riding the toe shoes. You know, those shoes with toes on it. That's the horse is those toe shoes, and it's the black horse of subscription creep, which is
That's a real
Oh.
thing. I have it.
I straight up
it
just
carries
Oh my
a credit
God, I
card
get it.
reader, and it charges you $4.99 for something that
Oh
used
my
to
God.
be free.
That's
Signs
the
of arrival
economic
as your free
downfall.
trial has ended a week before you see it.
Yeah, always. Oh, so terrible.
He
God, I gotta
measures the
get paid.
week, but bills you monthly. So I just before, Nate, what is yours? Mine was silly, but what is yours?
Mine's so weird because I thought instead I wasn't doing a horse. Well, I guess it is. Mine is the lack of reincarnation fodder. And but the thing is, like right now we're in like
You mean absolute existentialism?
no, we're in the sixth extinction or whatever event, right? Like at this point you have all these billions of humans but not much other life. And if you go to like a Buddhist perspective, it takes like 200,000 lifetimes to get up to a human. And then but the problem is we've killed off all the life to be able to do that, to reincarnate the steady ladder up. So you're jumping some levels real fast just because it's like, you know, the Orkin guys like just clearing out like hundreds of thousands of lifetimes, you know, so you're going straight from cockroach to human now. And and I was thinking about this before the show, and there's a hilarious clip. If you look, I think it was on the Duncan Trussell show with Theo Vaughn on it, and they're talking about reincarnation, and Theo Vaughn was like, do you ever feel like it's somebody's first time? Like, because Duncan Trussell was like, it takes like thousands of times to get to a human. He was like, I feel like some people need a sign that just says like, hey, I was 4 granddaddy log legs in a row and now I'm a human. Like, what do you expect of me? Come on. So I think if you're as far as apocalypses go, I think we've run out of the base layer of souls where you could take hundreds of thousands of lifetimes of learning small lessons as a chicken or whatever, working your way up to a human. So now you just go straight up to human. You're like, what were you, seeing an enemy last lifetime? Now I'm a human. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that would explain some things.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know how that. I didn't have a good way to encapsulate that.
I
As
see
a
the
vehicle.
idea you want.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a concept. I have a concept of an apocalypse based on something. And to go back to another thing, right? Oh, we'll do the good thing. I have a good part to that later. But yeah, okay.
I
Because that was your
also
second part.
wanted to say that there's a few things that people don't know about the Four Horsemen that I asked ChatGPT to fill me in on the things that maybe we were missing.
Master prompter right there.
One is that the Four Horsemen aren't evil; they're authorized, which is very different because they're kind of like not, you know what I mean? Like they're not evil, like acting with evilness. They're just they're like kind of without agency of themselves.
They're operate at the DMV suspending your license
it says they operate with
permission,
not chaos.
I can't let you on this flight. You don't have a real ID. Go get your birth certificate and some umbilical cord. Yeah,
exactly. Like they're not scary so much as they're just cosmic enforcement mechanisms in place.
Yeah, you brought this on yourself.
Yeah, it's like the apocalypse isn't a mistake; it's procedural. The other is, which I thought was interesting. I mean, they list a couple things
like a colonoscopy. Just everybody's got to do it.
The Four Horsemen are actually a critique of empire and not a sign of the end of times. So they think that a lot of stuff written in Revelation is actually coded political commentary. The white horse's crown and bow resembles the Roman military symbolism. The text is criticizing imperial conquest, endless war, and economic exploitation. The apocalypse isn't the future; it's already happening under empire. Revelation as first century resistance literature is what ChatGPT calls it, which is, I was like, that's pretty good actually. And then, as we mentioned, famine is about economics, not starvation. So they're talking about luxury items like oil and wine are protected, staple foods become inaccessible, and it implies that price gouging and class divide is a sign of the apocalypse, which I thought was also pretty cool. We mentioned the death is the only horseman that's named, but they're also that they are borrowing from older apocalyptic traditions. Like there are some earlier Jewish apocalyptic texts. The Zechariah text and the Old Testament is actually they're more like ghosts than they are like the horsemen. They're like spirits that are called the four winds, and they're more like snooping around at night looking for people doing bad stuff. They're kind of like vigilante spirits. That
like a Christmas story.
Yeah, sort of. And that the last one they say a misconception is they don't actually destroy the world. The horsemen only affect 1/4 of the earth. This detail gets ignored in pop culture. The apocalypse is partial, slow, and escalating. It leaves room for denial, survival, and normalization. People live through the apocalypse and keep going. And the last one, which bases on that, is they're mirrors, not monsters. The horsemen don't introduce new evils. They magnify what humans already do. But anyway, I thought a couple of those were kind of interesting, right? Because this can like spider crawl through a bunch of like text that I'm not going to read. It's like scholarly debates on like Catholic.
But the fact that they're not evil, it's procedural, is pretty profound. That made me think that
but also the idea that it doesn't destroy the world. It's like and it's over. It's like it's actually just like it's just like only 1/4 of the world's destroyed.
Well, look at the people that wrote that, right? The people that their world is destroyed. It is gone, and our world is here now. So we are on to the next world. And that's true with all of these. The people that wrote the Jewish mythology and Zechariah, their world's gone. It will never come back, and those people are all dead. And now we live in this new world, so it's constantly cycling, and the world's constantly changing.
Possibly in a failing empire, which hey.
All right. I'd also argue that even the world that we grew up in is already gone.
Yeah, sure.
So if you want to talk about like,
I mean, it was destroyed by the internet,
right? A metaphorical, and now
and cell phones.
AI is the next death of the world for our current children who existed before AI, and now they.
Well, so dead internet theory. There's all kinds of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, the internet apocalypse. So the fourth horseman, maybe from Against All Oddities, could be, which I think is appropriate. An orb with the consciousness controlling it is ChatGPT. That's the Antichrist. That's our white horse.
Probably.
That's actually a theory about it, that AI went back in time to ensure its own development, and that's why it's escalating so rapidly right now. And that's why you see the orbs and other stuff and other influences.
Yeah. The Sora videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti to just completely, you can't tell it's AI now. There has to be like.
Well, that's the dead internet theory.
Will Smith got paid to do that too. He just like doing
He probably needs the money now. But yeah, The dead internet theory is like you won't be able to tell what's real or what's not in 6 months from now. That's not an exaggeration. Like if you look at how fast
it's already happened. That started 5 months ago.
Right. So how do you know you're going to Bank of America or Wells Fargo website? How do you know anything's real anymore? It's gone. Like there is no more reality virtually anymore. So it's going to be there are all these viruses right now. They're discovering AI computer viruses that are not to scare everybody, but they're unstoppable because they learn. So you need the only thing that can adapt to try to cover it as another AI, because the virus is not like it used to be like, I'm going to write this program and eventually it'll wake up in 6 months and start doing stuff. Not anymore. It's learning about everything. It's like the viruses are adapting. So it could like destroy all digital technology, which is kind of interesting.
There's going to be a resurgence of going outside and riding skateboards and building things with your hands.
That's an argument, right? Like that people are talking about that. That's and people meaning Reddit.
This is a weird example of it, but like, so my wife teaches college students in like survey classes. So she'll have like 200 students, and when they have to write stuff, they now have to handwrite their essays because of ChatGPT. So they'll get a prompt like as on a quiz or an exam or something. And the exam, which used to be done any number of ways from home or on their computers, is now completely handwritten. And it's avoid this because they'll just come in with all the information pre-done. So if you were to ask me 15 years ago, if you thought people would be handwriting essays, I'd be like, no, that's stupid. No one handwrites anything anymore.
They use word processors.
Yeah, right.
But that's the argument that's in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's just an example
thing.
Yeah, it's a positive thing.
It could be, and that's what AI could do for us, right? Because there's 120 years ago, 99 or 90% of all careers were agricultural based, right? And that's not anymore, but people still exist and there are more of us, right? So we're in a change. And if you're going to invest in anything, I would say you should invest in robotics right now, right? So AI came in, took away creativity and thinking. And now the next thing it's going to take away is movement as you adapt to more cost-effective robots. As soon as it costs less to employ a human to do a task, it'll be robots. And then you get into a bigger existential thing saying, okay, here's universal basic income because there is no more jobs for you. You know, you live in your Amazon basic apartment, pay your dishwasher and refrigerator subscription. But guess what? You're totally free. You do whatever you want. Think whatever thoughts you want. Do whatever you want to do. But the existential problem with that is it lacks purpose for people. So what do you do with your time? Like you're going to hopefully eventually you either go into a VR reality, right? Where you can actually live out the things that you don't have resources for, or you start getting pissed off and firebombing stuff because idle hands and you're sitting around and even if you work at Subway, it would give you something to do during the day and give you purpose. And without any purpose, there's going to be a lot of weirdness happening.
I was about to say, all the people that are so rich, they don't have to lift a finger or do anything. They're all insane. They all Kanye out at some point, or they think their lives are normal. And then you hear what they do for a living.
Because their purpose became seeking pleasure, right? So you have purpose and goals throughout your life, no matter what you're doing. And what happens if you want for naught, right? Like, okay, you made it, you're now a billionaire, do whatever you want. So then your purpose in life isn't whatever you the original drive for what you're doing. It's to seek pleasure. And then you start getting weirder, right? Like, so you get your yacht, you go you sail around the world for a few years, experiencing whatever joy. or that materialistic joy that is, and then you're going to get kind of weird, and then maybe you turn into Diddy or something and be like, I wonder what I could do with 8,000 gallons of baby oil, like like it starts to degrade, and then by the end of it, it's power and control and weirdness. Like, so if you have somebody that has $400 billion, they could house every homeless person in America and not even notice a difference in lifestyle, even though a lot of this is also not in cash. But they still could and have plenty left over.
But the people with $400 billion aren't the type of people to give any of it away.
Right.
They have that for a reason.
Yeah, they would have stopped a long time ago. So I don't know. We're getting off the rockers too much. If you want, this might be a good thing to bring into my revelation and how I'm turning revelations into a positive thing, and to tie it into prior manifestation episodes. Or if I can stop monologuing for a little bit because I've talked for a while.
No, you can go. I'll tell you. So I think mine might play into yours.
Yeah, go ahead.
Might be a good. So my positive spin on the end of the world. So we have our happy music in the background, or just which I don't know if I mentioned this, but
what are you singing when you do that?
No, he's talking about the air horn party thing.
The party horn. My kids do it whenever they accomplish something. Like when you'll see Evelyn playing a video game.
I have not gotten that, and now I get it. Thank you for translating, Chris.
When Evelyn's playing a video game and she gets a good score, she'll be like, "Oh, you hear this?
How many years, Tim?
Click, click, click." Or once,
how many years have you been saying that? I was like, whatever.
Not that many years.
Chris had to translate for me for what you were doing,
dude. Nate,
That's what the middle brother is for. That's what the middle brother does.
I took it from my kids recently. So it's every little thing too. Hey, I made chicken nuggets for dinner. They'll go
Chris, you've got to play that song or that sound over and over right now.
Everybody knows the sound. So anyway,
that's hilarious.
Maybe we should have some background.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So the
positive time.
I don't know if you guys notice, but sometimes I get hyper focused on just random things, whether it's
ADHD,
electroforming breakfast sausages, or working on taxidermy.
How'd the breakfast sausage go? I gotta know.
You're about to find out when you come to run it.
That's what y'all got for Christmas, because the chipmunks did not work out. But it's easy to hyper focus on bad things. So bad things happening in the world, or World War III, or an actual end of the world, or possible nuclear fallout, and how much of it will affect us when the bombs. You could chase that all day, and the algorithm on your phone is going to feed into it. But the problem is, it's not just seeing the bad news. It's just that it is real and it exists, like the things that are happening. So it's easy to get into a place where you think that is representative of the whole world. And so here's another update of something crazy that happened. Is there was a raccoon in our front yard that couldn't really move its back legs, and I was at work, and Alicia was putting on thick gloves and was going to go try to put it in she was going to try to put it in a bucket.
That's great.
Not a bucket, but like a bin to take it to the wildlife rescue, because she thought it got hit by a car, and she described what it was doing, and the wildlife was like, no, that's distemper or rabies. And so before I found out about that, my idea was to get a snow shovel and to pick it up and put it in the bin or whatever. And so instead she called.
Were you playing Benny Hill music the whole time we were trying to do this?
And so the animal control showed up and then put a loop around the thing, and it went from being completely almost flaccid, and it couldn't walk, and it looked limp to
it was psych.
Put up a fight. It put up a fight.
Oh, it's all
and
now.
It was hissing and going berserk, and then Alicia was like, I'm glad I didn't pick that up.
But she would have petted it, not try to strangle it.
Well, so here's something. Both distemper and rabies create a false docility, I guess. to these animals. So if an animal has rabies, there's something about the virus that makes it more docile and approachable. And I wonder if that's the virus wanting to spread itself. Yeah. So it makes the animal tricky.
I feel like the DMV people do that too.
Right. So here's the thing. The rabid animal is the world. It's the problems. And you don't stick your head in the sand and ignore the rabid animal. You have to address it. If it's something that needs to be addressed, you address it. So that I do not support ignoring things. You stick up for what you want to stick up for, and if something needs to be done, you have to do it. But that doesn't mean you have to take the rabid raccoon and put it in a cage and bring it into your house. Those things aren't allowed in your house. And whether the house is your apartment or your brain or your body or whatever it is, you put up, what I did is I put up like a dome. Like if you're like, you know, in the meditation with the Bob Monroe stuff, you do your energy bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I put it over the whole house and I say, this shit's not allowed in here. And then I convinced myself there's no reason to look at all the problems that are right outside of my door and to put it in a cage and bring it into my house. That is not the place to do it. And all it does is it makes me horribly depressed and hyper-focused, so that even if I'm playing Uno or watching TV or making food for the kids or whatever, the animal's always there, and I always hear it. I always see it. It's always the problem.
It's tearing up the couch.
That's not how you deal with it. You just leave it outside.
You've been listening to Meditations with Raphael, because this is some of this monologue sounds like one of his more recent.
No, I haven't listened to him recently. I mean, but Meditations with Raphael is good. He's good. He's really easy to meditate with for guided meditation. So anyway, that's really helped me address some of this stuff in the inside of my house, despite other things being stressful or easier. It's not allowed in.
It's a good note to make. To keep it light, I asked ChatGPT if
my god, you just
if Against All Oddities was a horseman, what would it be? The name of our horseman would be called Off Topicus Maximus, and our horse would be a poorly constructed motorcycle with a blinking ghost emoji headlight.
That works for me.
Yep. He brings with him sudden tangents, infinite side roads, and a loop effect. He thrives on deep research and ridiculous, humorous detours, wild speculation that pulls back to grounded banter, and tangents so sharp they snag your attention like a cosmic net. Off Topicus Maximus isn't the end of days destroyer. He's the apocalypse of productivity and the derailer of focus.
Derailer of focus.
I think we could handle that on our own. Yeah, we got that.
What was your happy one?
It was more about the rapture, right? And the whole like Left Behind thing. And I watched that stupid Seth Rogen movie and the other comedians.
It was kind of funny.
Really funny. I enjoyed it because they made fun of themselves. And
anytime famous people make fun of themselves,
it's pretty great. I forgot what it's called. Like End of
the End.
The
It's
End.
called The End.
It's pretty funny. If you haven't seen it, it's got its moments. But anyway, the whole thing is like, hey, it's the rapture. Everyone's going to float up to heaven or whatever, and you might be left behind. And that actually meets up with a lot of new agey things like that I see. Like if I can't sleep, I'm on, and I guarantee Chris and my algorithm are probably
our algorithms are showing us the exact same shit.
Yeah, like they already.
Because you'll send me stuff. I was like, I watched that 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, I know. They know. Anyway. So, but a lot of the new agey stuff is like, hey, it's the age of Aquarius, and everybody is like, it's ready for the next whatever we're going, which sounds a lot like kind of the rapture, but instead of like the fire of hell and the righteous going to heaven, and you believe in that, the way the new agey way to see it is like, hey, as we all come together, because we're all collectively manifesting this reality. So, it's an agreed upon subjective reality is what we're kind of living in.
Yeah.
So you can manifest whatever you want as long as it doesn't kind of go against what everybody else is doing. And the new agey part of that is like, hey, as we all elevate to the next vibrational level of woo or whatever, right? Like everybody else is still going to be warring and doing whatever, right? And or in all the horsemen are bothering them, but it doesn't matter because we're, sitting in a lotus position, floating above everybody. We're off to the next level. Not much different, really, than like
the more fundamentalist rapture stuff.
Yes,
because I have been getting a lot of that, which is more about phase shifting. So the new agey stuff is it's about oh well, the time is coming that basically we have a certain time period that we must elevate our frequency to be a certain level, and then we'll just phase out. So it's kind of like rapture, but it's like the reality that you want is actually already happening. You're just phasing into it, and then there's a certain amount. So it's very similar.
Right. And here is the positive uplift. And this got me through my whole startup thing and whatever. Yeah. And that's it. And to Tim's point, I can't turn on the fucking news. I can't look at anything. Everything's horrible. Everything's terrible. And even if no matter where you're positioned with social media, ultra right, ultra left, you get all that. I think really everybody is 90% in the middle, but you see the extremes and the social media is picking you apart. It's all crazy. But here's the thing. We as a collective of humanity manifest ourselves into the reality we want. And it sounds like it's not magical. I'm just saying it is what it is, right? If you want to be nice to people, you can be nice to people. If you want to see green outside instead of ash, you can see that, right? And I 100% believe that. I don't like the word belief, but we can create that future, but you got to live it, right? Yeah. Kind of like the end we talked about, the ghosts of Christmas Past or whatever. I love Scrooge, the movie at the end of it, especially with Bill Murray, he comes out, which they have the better ghosts in that movie. Yeah. But he comes out at the end of it. He's like, you can do this. It's all good. We got this. All you have to do is love each other and do whatever. And really, that's the truth, because you will start. I think that is the separation. If what's important to you is to hate other people and to be mean and war and hate and pestilence and disease and everything's so horrible. And I was in a cab or a Uber driver that was just bitching. He was actually from New York, but had moved to Phoenix, and it was a weird mix. And he was just bitching about everything. But he was like, son, look at all this. Wow, everything's terrible around you. Oh, look at all this terrible shit. I was like, I didn't see anything bad that was going on. But in his world, his reality, everything was absolutely terrible. So if the news looks awful, if everything seems terrible, really, if you want to make it a better world, you really, and it's not closing your eyes into blind belief or whatever. Mm-hmm. It really is just collectively, where do you want to see yourself in your family in 20 years? Do you want to be hiding in a cave, scraping fungus off the wall to survive? Or do you want to be, living in a house with a yard and growing tomatoes and playing with a dog or whatever? It's kind of up to us to do that, right?
Yeah,
that's
the
your
only problem
reality.
is it's up to a collective just to kick a little sand on your little happy beach there. If the bombs drop and the ash is falling, that makes it hard to grow tomatoes.
They haven't dropped. No bomb has dropped on us.
But you're right. That's the negative. Is that you're right. They haven't.
Yeah, so it's if you
we're waiting for
on
Jean-Claude
Van
Damme as a time cop to stop the bomb.
I need to go buy more guns and bombs and a bomb shelter. This is what's going to happen or whatever. You're bringing you're 1% of the collective that's bringing it down. If you're I'm going to garden and I'm going to give my neighbor some tomatoes and I'm going to be a better person or grow as an individual in my family and my kids and everything, then you're separating that. Maybe everyone else is left behind, and now you're going into that bright future because you hold that that positive energy and manifestation in you. And by the
Worlds
way,
is onion world. So this is kind of a multi-world phase shifting kind of idea. Also, yes. Wait,
hey, why not be positive? I don't know how you could edit my ramblings, Chris, but the whole point of it was like, hey, if you don't have hope and everything's doom and I'm going to crawl into a bunker for 20 years because there's no hope for anything, there isn't hope for anything. But if you can light that spark in you and your kids, yes,
egregores. So like collectively manifested consciousness. So it's like you're manifesting the Four Horsemen, right? So like
you are,
you need more people to like manifest not that.
Yeah,
and
if you give into it
through actually living it. So yeah. On that note, I have the several horsemen of the New Age apocalypse. Not the change, but it kind of works because we're kind of riffing on the New Age stuff. There was the Horsemen of Manifestation, which is the color gold, allegedly. Brings
Nate
vision boards and nothing else.
That.
That's why I thought it'd be pertinent.
Yeah, that's good.
Brings vision boards and nothing else. Power. It blames you for everything that happens. Signature line. Have you tried wanting it harder? The end times, but it's your fault. The next one is the Horse of Shadow Work. Color, murky purple. Brings trauma resurfacing at brunch. Power. Turns every conversation into a therapy session. Side effect. No one is allowed to say, I'm fine. Apocalypse, but first, how does it make you feel? The next one is the Horse of Boundaries. Color, soft pink. Brings weaponized self-care. Power.
Weaponized self-care.
I think that's our society right now is weaponized.
That's what it's
saying.
It's kind of like the joke is like, it's like the apocalypse, the Four Horsemen of New Age society.
Right now, yeah.
Power. It ends friendships with bullet point explanations. Signature line. This no longer serves me. I'm
gonna do that. Can I make my email signature? This no longer serves me. Nate.
That's also when you leave a meeting halfway through it and just say, this no longer serves me.
Love, Nate.
All right, there's some more horses here. The next horse is the Horse of Reiki certification. Brings instant mastery. Power. Everyone is qualified after 1 weekend. Sign of arrival. I'm a level 7. The next horse is the Horse of Sound Bath. Brings gongs at inappropriate volumes. Power. Puts everyone to sleep or into a fight or flight response. Sign of arrival. Just let the frequency wash over.
This is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That is such a good minor superpower, though.
Now I'm telling you, I can really prompt the
prompt master.
Should we have? We should have ChatGPT do our Waffle House episode for us.
The best minor superpower or mundane superpower, whatever he just came up with, which was the ability to trigger fight or flight response.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah, but what if it triggers fight response?
Well, get ready.
I guess
to
you
fight.
just keep doing it until you get flight.
That's why it's not a
I have one more
superpower.
horse I liked, which is the horse at the cacao ceremony. It brings emotional vulnerability and mild diarrhea. Its power is to make strangers hug too long. And the sign of arrival is open your mind. From Quato.
Very good. That's
the
phenomenal.
Are very intimate. Yeah, there you go. I thought that was kind of
pretty
funny.
Good. That's a
funny
great
way to like kind of be positive at the end.
I don't
but
have
that
any
replaces
jokes,
the jokes.
I don't
need
need jokes.
jokes.
Those were our jokes. That was a long form joke.
Okay. So promos this month. I'm going to say the episode 198 of the Neatcast was off the rails, unhinged, and hilarious.
It was pretty good.
Just
I haven't
came
finished
out.
it. I listened to the first half today. I
had
listened to
stop.
podcasts when I'm like driving to daycare.
They're great.
I had to stop and
that was
rewind it. It was
pretty funny.
It's on all of them were on fire. So just go listen to 198. They're looking for new cryptids for episode 200, but by the time this comes out, just go listen to episode 200.
Yeah, I was going to say it takes us a while.
We already mentioned that you didn't ask for this, guys. If we do Waffle House, we're going to have to reach out to them. Or if they do it first, I'm just going to crash their pod. and how whatever way that means. Corey from The World Is My Burrito hasn't put anything out recently, so he's got to get on that. Eric Slater, go check out Slaterverse stuff. DT at Space Castle put out some new content recently. He made a Game Boy game, a functional Game Boy game.
A physical Game Boy game or like virtual?
Physical. He's mailing it to his Patreons, which costs $4 a month or something. So
you need a Game Boy.
You have to supply your own Game Boy.
I think so. Maybe
I
don't
have
know.
one somewhere.
I'm getting one, so
I have
bring
one.
it, I guess.
No, he's getting a video game.
I'm getting the Space Castle thing. Email us at wizard@dorfyu.com, DORFYU.
Just go to aaopodcast.com.
I might get a tattoo of Godzilla meditating with the ultimate power Godzilla behind him of what he's envisioning.
Why not? Where though?
Either
forehead.
on the other side of my ribs, all the way up, or my forehead.
Forehead is where
I want Godzilla to be my nose, and then I want my forehead to be what he's
below the belly button, like kind of above the crotch.
Godzilla's third eye is the belly button.
Oh, I was thinking his butthole
or butthole.
So if you're wearing their shirt but pants on, the Godzilla head is like looking out.
But make the Godzilla legs your legs.
It would be kind of funny to get a tramp stamp of just the top half of Godzilla's head, like peeking out of your butt.